let's get on to Temple Ashaju. It's the Global Money Week, or what you call the Financial Literacy Week, and we're part of that when we talk about financial literacy. The regulators are moving to get everyone into digital ICT economy. So what does it all mean? Temple Ashaju is sitting down with one of our guests live there at the studios at the Stock Exchange. Temple, take it from here, educate us about the financial literacy. Let me listen to what more I can learn about the world of finance. Here we go.
Bosun, what else do you have to learn? You have got everything, actually. But then thanks for the opportunity from Monday to...
No, the only room that does not get filled is the room for improvement.
Global event.
Go ahead, Temple. You got a floor.
Right, so it's a global thing. It's not just a Nigerian thing. It's something that the Nigerian Stock Exchange and all other companies in financial market space regularly gets to observe or commemorate one way or the other that's every year between the 25th of March through to the 29th of March. That was Friday, actually, and so we'll be expecting some more celebrations to be coming up from a lot of the key players in the market. So we've got Gbolahan Aina, who's an investment banker with Codros Capital here. Gbolahan, thanks a deal for coming through.
Thanks, Temple.
But then take us down to the world of Global Money Week precisely, and how we are currently commemorating that here in the Nigerian space here.
Okay, good question. So Global Money Week, like you said, is a week-long event, and it's an annual event. Basically, is to create awareness or a campaign for financial literacy among the youth and among the young ones. Basically, they've been doing it since 2012. So really, their slogan is to learn, to save, and to earn. And so quite interesting, I saw a report from S&P, I think I mentioned it to you, and they tried to look at the financial literacy of a number of nations. So they look at 4 components actually: inflation, diversification, interest rates, and compounding interest. And Nigeria just got 26% in that ratio. The first 10 nations, number 1 was Denmark, Sweden was on that list as well with 71%. We had a lot of Scandinavian countries in that ratio. Funny enough, America just had about 60%. But the key thing is that in terms of financial literacy, we still have a long way to go as a nation. So I know a lot of regulators are doing a lot in this regard. Also, market operators are doing a lot in this regard. But I believe there's still so much more that can be done.
There's a whole lot more that can be done. So how come everything about savings, everything about learning, savings, like you said, the regulators here have been, carrying that out regularly. Some investors' clinic is being carried out often by the regulators, and of course, even some companies get to do that. A lot of stockbroking houses like yours or asset management firms like yours also do that on a regular basis. So why then do we have to score 26%?
So Nigeria is not just Lagos State or Abuja.
Absolutely.
Nigeria also contains a lot of a lot of states that really education hasn't really gotten so much to. Also financial inclusion. So if you notice, financial inclusion also can increase your financial literacy. So if you have an account, for instance, you probably need to know how to use the internet, you need to know how to use your checking account and all that. So really, with a lot of education, a lot of awareness, a lot of financial inclusion, I think we'll be able to board better in terms of our competitiveness.
So what areas should we be looking at? Insurance is not something that's got a lot of penetration in Nigeria. A lot of people here, a lot of the young guys here don't even have insurance. The other day, the acting DG of the SEC was talking about some securities that investors, that the youth can actually invest in, and she mentioned a mutual fund. But mutual fund is actually something that has low returns on investment. And even if you put your money with a commercial bank, the return on investment is even much lower compared to what you derive from mutual funds. So that is discouraging to a lot of the millennials.
Yeah. So really, in terms of being financially independent or financially literate, it's not just investment. Investment is key. So like you mentioned, insurance is also important. So insurance penetration in Nigeria is very low, just about under 1%. Mutual fund as a percent of GDP is even very low for Nigeria. When compared to some other clients, they have over 100%. Nigeria is just lower than 10%. So we don't really board when a lot of these indices. But I like your question. So how do we get the youth to be involved? So one is awareness. One also is to understand investment. So it's not all investment that have low return. So you mentioned mutual funds that have low return. So it depends on the underlying assets. So maybe money market mutual funds might not be so aggressive in terms of returns, but there's some equity-based mutual funds that have high return, but of course, high risk as well. There's a trade-off between returns and risk. Insurance also is very important. Abroad, we have a lot of education insurance, having life insurance as well. Those are things that people need to put in their financial baskets. People need to have things like wills and estate planning as well. Those are things that we don't even consider in this climb. But so the onus doesn't just rest with the regulators, it rests with all stakeholders. So from the parent as well, from an early age, already teaching your child how to save when they go to school as well.
That's for parents who actually understand the markets.
Yeah. So in our school system as well, we need to inculcate financial education, personal finance into our curriculum. So that is missing. So a lot of people, after they finish school, that all these things are new to them. I know some of these things are habitual. So you've lived about 30 years, 25 years, you didn't have any knowledge about personal finance. So I believe you can inculcate into our education system. So a lot more awareness, even going to the nook and crannies, going to all those regions that people don't think they can invest. So probably educating them in their own language, not just English. So bringing investment terms in Hausa, investment terms in Igbo language, and also making use of digital the penetration as well. So a lot of people have a smartphone. So you can go on websites like Investopedia.
But can we localize this investors clinic, especially for the millennials, for the youth? Because I get a lot of calls, a lot of SMS online. How do I invest in stocks? And by the time I start, everybody just gets tired. They don't want to follow up anymore. And they just want to just give me the money to invest. And I'm not a stockbroker, I'm just a journalist. How do we localize information like this on websites, on portals that we can share on Instagram, on Twitter, and all of the available social media networks in Nigeria to project this message?
Okay, to be quite candid, that is already ongoing, because I know a lot of students that do that. I know my institution really on a regular basis we throw out a lot of financial education, but of course that's not enough. We need to go to schools. So for instance, we go to a lot of schools, universities, teaching them financial literacy. So we need to see a lot more from not just market operators, the teachers as well need to understand it. So I think having apps as well that teach, that also allow people to invest. So a lot of apps are coming up at the moment that allow people to invest in some of these financial products. So using technology, and of course, like I said, using social media, we go a long way.
So what we would then say is the achievements of the regulators so far in this field of financial literacy to drive up financial inclusion?
So I think they've done a lot. So in terms of financial inclusion, really, it has increased a whole considerably lot. So if you look at the mutual fund space, if you look about 3, 4, 5 years ago, in terms of the mutual fund AUM, it was just about 300 billion. Now the AUM is almost touching 700 billion. So in terms of people that actually invest in mutual funds, that has increased a whole lot. A lot of people never even knew what a mutual fund was, but now people understand what money market mutual funds are. They understand what equity mutual fund is, but of course participation is still very, very low. So also, like I said, if you have it in our curriculum, so from an early age, you already know what saving is, you know what budgeting is, you know what interest rate is, you know what inflation is. You can begin to make sense of all those figures and concepts.
Okay, so tell us about the role that fintech is playing today in this field, because a lot of the youth these days really we love convenience.
Yeah.
You've got to want to do all your payments on your mobile or your PDAs. You want to pay your school fees, you prefer you do it on your phone.
Yeah.
But so fintech comes to play here, and then you still have the traditional banking hall, the traditional payment system where you still have to interface with the executives or officials over the counters and all of that.
Yeah.
How much has fintech, done to change the paradigm in this field, especially for the purpose of the objectives that the millennials really want?
Well, I think fintech is doing a whole lot. So there's this app, Piggy Bank. I'm not advertising for them, but it's an app that's targeted towards the millennials and to get them to save. And of course, I know they've recorded huge success. Recently as well, they got like a foreign investor to also invest money in the company. And in fact, it's convenient. So on a daily basis, you want to invest a particular amount of money, it's convenient. Also for a lot of mutual fund providers like ourselves as well, you can invest, if you go online, quite convenient for you to invest, or through our app. And I know it's not just peculiar to us, most operators, because that's the way to go. So it's either you embrace that way or people just don't recognize you. So fintech is going to play a whole lot. Most of everybody has a device. And like I said, your device is one of the most powerful tools at the moment.
So fintech is basically the future, because in this same seat you're sitting on, I mean, we had some executives of a bank yesterday, and they've talked about the next 125 years tailored towards technology investing, fintech, and all of that, because that is what the generation next really wants. Thanks a great deal for your thoughts here. Gbala Huayno, investment banker with Codros Capital. Back to you, Bosi.
Temple, thank you very much. And Gbala Huayno from Codros Capital, talking about the world literacy. Of course, I'm getting a lot more literate. I'm getting a little bit old with some of those things. Fintech and digital space and what have you. Okay, I'm here. I'm still around. Folks, don't think I'm going anywhere yet. But we just take a break. 2 minutes, we'll be right back. We're checking with the markets on our MPC Decision Day, Tuesday, the 26th of March.